Explain the difference between an interface and an abstract class in C#. Describe the difference between a value type and a reference type in C#. Explain the process of creating a custom event in C#, including the steps involved and the key components used. Describe the various ways to implement threading in C#, including the use of the thread, thread pool, and task classes. Explain the different ways to handle exceptions in C#, including the use of try-catch finally blocks and the use of the throw keyword. Describe the key differences between a struct and a class in C#, including their memory allocation and lifetime. Explain the process of creating a singleton pattern in C#, including the use of the private constructor, the use of the static keyword, and the use of the lazy class. Explain the difference between a static class and a singleton pattern in C#. Describe the process of creating a generic collection in C#, including the use of the generic list class and the use of the generic dictionary class. Explain the difference between a shallow copy and a deep copy in C#, including the use of the member-wise clone method and the use of the iClonable interface. Describe the process of creating an iterator in C#, including the use of the yield keyword and the use of the IEnumerable interface. Explain the process of creating a custom attribute in C#, including the use of the attribute-to-usage attribute and the use of the attribute-to-targets enumeration. Describe the process of creating a dynamic type in C#, including the use of the dynamic keyword and the use of the expandObject class. Explain the process of creating a nullable type in C#, including the use of the nullable type. Describe the process of creating a covariant and contravariant interface in C#, including the use of the in and out keywords and the use of the IEnumerable and IEnumerable interfaces. Explain the process of creating a delegate in C#, including the use of the delegate keyword and the use of the action and func delegate types. Describe the process of creating an extension method in C#, including the use of the this keyword and the use of the static keyword. Explain the process of creating a lambda expression in C#, including the use of the equals greater than operator and the use of the func delegate type. Describe the process of creating an asynchronous method in C#, including the use of the async and await keywords and the use of the task and task classes. Explain the process of creating a parallel execution in C#, including the use of the parallel.for and parallel.foreach methods and the use of the task.run method. Describe the process of creating a lazy loading in C#, including the use of the lazy class and the use of the lazy initializer class. Explain the process of creating a dependency injection in C#, including the use of the constructor injection and the property injection. Describe the process of creating a unit testing in C#, including the use of the mastist and nunit frameworks. Explain the process of creating a fluent API design in C#, including the use of method chaining and the use of extension methods. Describe the process of creating dynamic binding in C#, including the use of the dynamic keyword and the use of the expandObject class. Explain the process of creating a partial class in C#, including the use of the partial keyword and the benefits of using partial classes. Describe the process of creating a custom exception in C#, including the use of the exception class and the use of the try-catch finally blocks. Explain the process of creating a reflection in C#, including the use of the type class and the use of the getIt method. Describe the process of creating a serialization in C#, including the use of the XML serializer and the data contract serializer classes. Explain the process of creating a memory leak in C#, including the use of the weak references and the use of the dispose pattern.